Hello everybody and welcome to our special WrestleMania SuperShow here on the Wrestling Skull podcast. I'm your host John Scott, joined as always by my co-host Matt Essex. Matt, how you doing this week? WrestleMania week, and how have you been?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well, and I'm glad to say it's finally time, it's here, and I'm more than ready now to get into some real wrestling here.
Yep, as am I as well for what is going to be an amazing weekend, no doubt about it. Whether we agree with the matches, we don't agree with the matches, I still think the weekend itself is such a spectacle. Even if you're not a purist WWE, there's plenty going on this weekend, especially if you're in the area of Orlando, Florida right now. There's loads of stuff going on with all the indies. Everybody that is a normal listener will obviously have heard the nostalgic WrestleMania theme itself. Put that on a special for this one because it is our main super show for the preview. So that's why we're playing this one. But Matt, before we go any further and we get straight and we dive almost straight head first into WrestleMania's weekend, big announcement for everybody here, especially with a podcast. Want to announce it right here and now, right off the top of the show, and that is that we have our first, sort of major big time sponsor on the show, and it's WrestleCrate.com. And just want to give you guys a heads up on this because got some news coming in just before the podcast went out, an hour before we're going out live tonight. Got some news in that WrestleCrate, especially for WrestleMania weekend, will be, and get this one, Matt, it's a really good deal for anybody who wants to get into this type of stuff, 30% off on a special WrestleMania sale, and it starts right now. So, guys, if you want to treat yourself every month, it's kind of like I guess I can compare it. It's like treating yourself. You're going to get something that you don't quite know what's in it. But it's wrestling, and it's not just WWE. There is all the other promotions like Ring of Honor, even Preston Wrestling's involved, New Japan. So there's a nice mixture, a nice variety of wrestling merch that you're going to get, and there's also two options. So listen, if you want to budget yourself, you can do it. At a decent, affordable price, and that's what's really good about this deal with WrestleCrate. So, literally, on this one, there are two basic ways of going through this when you hit the subscribe. But first of all, myself and Matt, we're going to be getting our first crates like literally next month. I'm looking forward to it. The good thing about this is, like I said before, it's like treating yourself. You don't know what's going to come in the crate, but you do know it's going to be wrestling, which is the cool thing, really. I mean, it's like there are others out there, but this one, trust me, it's really affordable. You haven't got to go kind of crazy over it, and also for this weekend only, 30% off. But I got an even bigger deal to that one, Matt, and that is an exclusive with the Wrestling Skull podcast right now. We've got a little competition going. And basically, all you've got to do is email us in at the Wrestling Skull Podcast at Gmail. Here's the question, guys. It's a WrestleMania question. I think literally, even if you didn't know the answer to this, I don't think it's going to be too difficult, Matt, to do a little bit of research. With the capabilities of the likes of Google these days. I mean, come on, how difficult can it get? And it will be picked by a lottery, and we're going to be giving out the winner on Monday, and the winner will receive 6 months of WrestleCrate absolutely free. So it's a really good deal, and it's also it's the premium crate. So it's not the small one; it's the main one. So you're going to want to get in on this. It's worth a shot for sure. You've got nothing to lose to go into this. And the question is this. I think it's nice and easy. Maybe even Matt might not know. You never know. But this is it, guys. How many times has The Undertaker performed on the grandest stage of them all? Not including this year's WrestleMania. Okay, so how many times has the Undertaker already performed at the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania? Send your answer in at at our email address, thewrestlingskullpodcast@gmail.com. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's not going to be hard work. Like I say, if you need to kind of go elsewhere and look for this and find out an answer, I'm sure it won't be that difficult. I mean, hell, we may even speak about it on this podcast if you're listening carefully. So it's a really good deal. And I encourage everybody, especially to all our main listeners, to get into that. But going back to this great service, listen, there's an $11.99 subscription service first and foremost. That is the standard WrestleCrate option, and they will deliver smaller bursts of wrestling goodies. And all you literally need to do is put your shirt size in, and you're guaranteed to get a shirt each month. In that size, plus all loads of other merch. If you want to go for the ultimate WrestleCrate subscription, again, I think this is quite a good deal. I don't think it's like, I've seen a lot of them out there and they kind of go around £30 to £35. This is £21.99 for the ultimate WrestleCrate edition that contains a huge amount of wrestling goodies each month. And don't forget, folks, if you sign up to that this weekend, you are going to get 30% off of this WrestleMania special offer. So it's a really good deal. I can't put it over any more than that. Don't forget to do our competition, folks. Send the answer in to the Wrestling Skull Podcast @gmail.com, and we will announce the winner on Monday's big review show of WrestleMania. Matt, can it get any better than that? I mean, is it any easier than that for this competition?
No, well, it's like I said, it's not an incredibly difficult question, but when you're looking at like what you can get 30% off, that's a huge discount. You can't say fairer than that, and it sounds like one hell of a deal to me to get in there and get involved in this competition. Yeah, well,
and so definitely get involved in that. More on that as we go on as well. So Matt, let's get straight into it. I mean, that's the business side sorted out, shall we say, on this big podcast. But let's get down to it. We're here for WrestleMania weekend, and I want to dive straight into it. Obviously, tonight is going to be the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony. Lots of stuff going on about that. But Matt, I just wanted to ask you: did you get to see any of the access stuff that was going on both yesterday and today? Because it looked absolutely tremendous. So I've got to say, I started to get a little bit jealous of some of the people that were heading in there, because that really looked good. The whole access part of it. I don't know if you saw the video that Triple H or I think it might be Stephanie actually posted yesterday. It looked really, really good inside.
Yeah, you sent me a nice little link to that video, and I gave it a watch, and quite a lengthy video actually. It just goes to show how excited they are about it. Looking at all the exhibits and stands and everything, and I got to say, I am definitely jealous that I'm not there for that kind of thing, because it just looks so good, and all the stuff you can see that's to do with the Hall of Fame people and that, and all their legacy and their items, and even like small memorabilia that they've used as props and everything. All this kind of thing just makes it so much better, because it jogs my memory and makes me remember the times when this was actually going on and the stuff that they used. And I just wish that I was there right now, actually, in fact.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And it was funny to actually watch that video, just how excited Stephanie was getting all over this stuff, and Triple H was really getting into it. It just goes to show how busy they are, because obviously they've not seen any of this stuff until probably they done that video almost when they walked through the access space. But it is amazing, because it's like its own little kind of sort of, I guess, sort of WrestleCon. I mean, it's like its own little thing, isn't it? It's where fans can go, and you forget just how big all that's become since they started doing that, and what a massive part access has become all over. It's definitely worth, if you go to WrestleMania, to get that ticket to go there, because so much on. I heard as well that 205 was performing there, and even the UK talent, Matt, I don't know if you heard that, but they've been over there performing in the access itself. So it's been a massive deal, even just for that, which is pretty cool. for sure. Matt, so like I said before, it's the WWE Hall of Fame. That's what we're starting with tonight. WWE Network, they're going to do like... I mean, I guess they're just kind of treating this like the Oscars now, Matt. I mean, they're doing like a red carpet ceremony. That's been happening in the last few years, but you know, they love to treat this now with so much respect. Obviously, we announced ages ago now that they did swap the Hall of Fame and NXT TakeOver around. I think it makes more sense to do it this way, to be quite honest. Just the way things work. But let's just go through just briefly, shall we, on who will be inducted tonight. And you know, I don't want to spend too much time on it because we got like so much to cover. But it's definitely worth mentioning who's going in and who will be inducting each person, shall we say, for tonight. On this one, because there's a lot of there are a lot of names going in, but let's start first and foremost. Matt, Ravishing Rick Rude is being inducted tonight by Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and we announced this. I think it's just was he? Am I right in thinking he was the first one that was announced this year, Matt? Not sure. Can't quite remember, but I'm sure it was him that was put in there.
I can't say 100%, but that does sound right to me. Definitely one of the front runners that we heard of from the start.
Yeah, and of course, Rick Rude, an amazing talent. Just to give you a little bit of background, not that you probably need it, but just in case, he was a 3-time WCW International World Heavyweight Champion, a 1-time WWF Intercontinental Champion, and a 1-time WCW United States Heavyweight Champion. But Rick Rude... really, more famously, I mean, the pants, you can't beat that, can you? Those pants he wore, Matt, were priceless. I mean, his face was printed on it. When he'd done the feud with Jake Roberts, he was on the back of it, like, all beat up. I mean, he knew how to draw some heat on him from everybody, that guy. He was a tremendous character, and I enjoyed Rick Rude, the character, and he definitely deserves to be inducted this year. Matt, how about this one then for the females? Beth Phoenix going in tonight, and she's going to be inducted by Natalya. Of course, Beth Phoenix was a 1-time Divas champion, 3 times Women's champion, and a 2008 Slammy Award winner of Diva of the Year. As far as the women go, we had Jacqueline last year, Matt. It seems like WWE... they want to put a female in there every year. Bev Phoenix, is this a good call for you?
Yes, yeah. I think she was guaranteed to be in there at some point anyway. Mm-hmm. I find it a little bit early in her career to be put into the Hall of Fame, mm-hmm. but regardless, if you're going to be put in there, why not do it when you're young? You can enjoy it more. You've got more time to enjoy this. So, great call there. I mean, I've got no problem with it, and definitely achieved some amazing achievements within the WWE.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with it either. I just find, look, there are still female competitors out there. I mean, obviously, let's not beat around the bush. The likes of Sable, Chyna, I think I put them above Bev Phoenix, really, in the pecking order, quite frankly. Just what they've done. I mean, you forget how famous Sable was at one time. I mean, she literally, that Playboy magazine, that was like their biggest sale ever. So, Sable was no joke in the Attitude Era for sure. She was as big as some of the guys back then, especially with like TV sort of guide covers and stuff like that. Like, Sable was a massive part of it. So, I think she's overdue one, but then. Hey, we've spoken about it many a times on this podcast. A lot of people are. Here's another guy, Matt, that definitely, especially to his work that he's done since wrestling. But what a performer! A late kind of arrival into wrestling. Diamond Dallas Page, and he's going to be inducted tonight, Matt, by none other than Eric Bischoff tonight, which is an interesting one. 3-time WCW Heavyweight Champion, 2-time WCW United States Heavyweight Champion, a 1-time WWF Tag Team Champion, and a 4-time WCW Tag Team Champion.